Liberty Journal. Who? Redacted. Others. And Marshall Mobius? What? Unknown. Where? Mathematics Department, Liberty College. When? Redacted. Why? Unknown. How? Transcribed from recording and observations. By Redacted. Smells kind of funny in here. There is a few people in the audience I recognize. A few I do not. Marshall Mobius is standing at the front of the room, not moving. Some people are still filing in. There is nothing written on any of the chalkboards. No one is saying anything. How can I talk about what cannot be talked about? Mathematics. His body just went fuzzy and see-through, like a damaged videotape, but playing in the air instead of on a screen. He is back to normal again. That is why, today, my words appear here with, through, because of mathematics. His body flickered, again. Seems like it happens when he says the word mathematics. If I close my eyes and I think of the word light, a light appears in the darkness. It just appears. What is it? Where is it? How is it? And why? Oh, why? Tough to say. But nonetheless, there it is. And it appears to be everything it needs to be. It does not appear to need anything else except, well, for me to think. All I have to do is think of something, and it appears instantly, as if it is right before my eyes. And as I think differently about whatever it is I'm thinking of, it appears differently. I don't know what these appearances I think of really are. I don't know where it is that they appear. I don't know where it is that they appear from. No idea how, no idea why. And yet, things always seem to appear, whenever and however I want them to, with just a thought. And so here I am, my eyes closed, with what appears to be the sun, shining for me. I look at the light, not for too long, or it will turn everything dark. Of all the obvious ways the sun appears to be, big, bright, brilliant, steady, spherical, I concentrate on one. The light appears to be one. One thing. It appears to be working alone. It appears to be self-reliant. It appears to be everything it needs to be. Now, is it possible that the opposite is reality? Is it possible that the sun is not as it appears to be? That the light is not one thing? Not working alone? Not self-reliant? Well, yes, of course. And so, if that is the case, and the light is not what it appears to be, it is only because of one fundamental reason. The earth. Sure, I could argue all the other planets and all the other light and dark in the cosmos are working against the sun's self-reliance, but let's stick with Earth, because, well, my words would not be here today without it. And, well, neither would you be here to receive them. I imagine now that I am the sun. I put myself in the light's shoes. I empathize with the sun. I appear to myself to be one. I appear to be everything I need to be. I can constantly see in every direction of the cosmos, all the time. From this position, it appears that nothing could possibly sneak up on me. There is no behind me. So, how does the cosmos appear to me now? How does that appearance make me feel? Well, the cosmos, from the light's shoes, appears and feels essentially the same as it does from my own shoes. Except for, of course, the one fundamental thing: the earth. From the sun's shoes, the earth appears and feels much different than it does from anywhere on earth. From the light's shoes, the earth appears to constantly and consistently spin and travel all the way around. It appears as though the earth may be self-reliant, but also, at the same time, fundamentally reliant on me, the sun. Though the earth appears to be doing most of the work. Now, if I really want to empathize with the light, I concentrate closer on the earth, and I notice something else that appears consistent about the earth: change. With each revolution of the earth, the side which appeared yesterday has changed into one that appears today. Appears anew every day, from every night. The dark, the other side, unknown. Uh-oh. How does that make the sun feel? The light, which appears to see in all directions of the cosmos at once, appears to still be missing something which it cannot see. I would say, from the sun's shoes, this appearance of the earth, or lack thereof, makes me feel uncertain. At first, the earth appeared somewhat reliant on the light. Upon further examination, the earth appears only half reliant on the light. In fact, it appears that the earth, by virtue of its very existence within the cosmos, both relies and does not rely on the light. Well, what is the apparently self-reliant sun to do? It looks all around, and all the other planets also appear to be only half reliant on the light. Their moons as well. The only hope the sun has for proving anything's reliance on the dark is to find out what the dark uncertainty appears to be. What exactly is in those dark places in the cosmos, between all the light, where nothing appears to appear? The sun appears to be in a tough spot. From the earth, the light appears to be self-reliant, but from its own shoes, it appears uncertain of itself. The sun appears to be uncertain of the very things which make it appear certain of its own self-reliance. Whoa. What is the sun to do? Well, it appears the light has a few options. Option 1. Bring the uncertainty in for a closer look. This would definitely shed some light on the dark, but fortunately or unfortunately, will also completely remove the earth and everything else from the cosmos, changing it into more light in the process. In fact, Many mathematicians on Earth believe that if the apparent self-reliance of the sun was made larger by taking in more and more uncertainty, eventually the sun's own growing abundance of light would change into dark uncertainty, thereby becoming the very thing it was seeking to know. Whoa. More options, perhaps? Option 2. What actually appears to be happening, according to many mathematicians on Earth, is the opposite of option 1. Everything appears to be moving away from the sun, making everything, including uncertainty, appear to be less than it actually is. In reality, though, no sizes have changed, and the planets merely get darker, more uncertain. Uh-oh. There must be another option. Option 3, of course. Consult with all the other lights of the cosmos that are positioned in such a way to actually have a view of the sun's uncertainty. Of course. But note that the uncertainty also appears to reside behind every other sun in the cosmos. All other lights appear to be half reliant on the dark. Uh-oh, again. I have run out of options. Now what? Well, the sun appears to be in a tough spot, though of course, I cannot say for sure. And because I cannot say for sure, I appear to be in some sort of a tough spot too. But of course, I cannot say for sure. I cannot even say for sure if I cannot say for sure. Everything I know for sure appears to be at least half known and half uncertain. Half unknown. Could even be more than half. All I know for sure is there appears to be unknown, and I am not exactly sure that knowing that is knowing anything at all. Whoa, tough spot. I'm really not exactly sure how I should feel about that which I do not know. How am I to feel about an implied unknown? Uncertain? Unprepared? Unsafe? Reliant? Tough spot indeed. Regardless of how I feel about an implied unknown, is there a certain way I appear to unknown? Do I appear to be known? Certain? Prepared? Safe? Self-reliant? However I end up appearing, am I able to be certain of it? Oh dear. Where am I really? Am I wearing light shoes? Am I wearing dark shoes too, as a result? How would I know? For all I know, this empathy exercise is fundamentally futile, and I cannot properly put on anything's shoes. Tough spot. What else can I say? At the end of the day, when I'm in my own shoes and I open my own eyes, I appear to be a middleman. I appear to be like the earth. I appear to be reliant on both the light and the dark, the known and unknown. Uh-oh. How exactly could I be known and unknown? Well, ask the light. Though, as explained already, a complete answer does not appear to be certain. Well then, how? How to remove uncertainty? How to get to the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth. All known and no unknown. Who knows? Well, regardless, I appear to me to be a middleman. I appear to be both an outside and an inside, made of known and unknown. But then, as a result, something else. A something where insides meet outsides, where light meets dark, where unknown becomes known. An in-between, a link, a bridge, a border, a middle, an it. What is it? Where is it? How is it? And why? Oh, why? Tough to say. But nonetheless, there it is. Whatever it is, I cannot call it known unknown, because it appears I cannot know for sure. So it appears to me that I am as close as words are going to get to it. Whatever it is. However, fortunately or unfortunately, mathematics appears to me to be the only other way I can get closer to it. Closer to certainty. Closer to the truth. His body keeps flickering, briefly, in the same way whenever he says mathematics. The people around me do not even seem fazed by it. They look as entranced as they do at their chalkboards. That's right. From my shoes, mathematics appears to be the only provable way to it. That it between uncertainty and certainty. Known and unknown. Of course, many a name has been given to it, even though it remains to be proven what it is, where it is, how it is, and why it is. Every word uttered, a mere unprovable projection of it. Mathematics, however, is a provable projection of it. Mathematics is it. It is mathematics. Or at least it appears to me to be. Though, I know how uncertain appearances can be. Oh, words. Who really needs them? And for what? Well, my mother. That's right. My mother appears to need words to tell me about me. She doesn't need to show me her mathematics, because I am her mathematics. I am her proof of her it, her mathematical projection of her known unknown, in the flesh. And she just loves to remind me of this fact with words. Well, this realization has no doubt made me speechless. But it also made me immensely more appreciative of mathematics. Maybe that was Mother's plan all along. Oh, to be my mother. I could not even begin to imagine. I could not even begin to fit into those shoes. What incredible, unfathomable shoes. To bring life into existence. The sheer mathematical complexity of her proof is virtually incalculable. Absolutely extraordinary. Truly beyond words. Truly my greatest mathematical inspiration. And yet, truly my rhetorical foe. If there is anyone who can speak for me, it is me. But the person who made me has earned that same right. Though my mother will be the first to acknowledge my inherent liberty, she is also the first to remind me I was liberated by our equality. I don't remember this, even though I apparently lived through it. I cannot speak with any great detail like she can. But she does not even need to. She could never use enough words to explain everything involved in our equality, which gave liberty to me. There is no clearer or perfect way to prove her unprovable it than to give birth to it. Every other projection of it, other than birth, is unprovable. That is, other than mathematics. And wouldn't you know it, my mother hates mathematics. She will never hesitate to remind me. Oh, the headaches this has caused me. My founding mother, my liberator, my expert of equality, my master of mathematical projection of the unprovable it, will never even bother with simple arithmetic. And she doesn't have to. She's already among the greatest mathematicians on earth, and she never had to write a single proof. For she has given birth to the only proof she needs to provide. Any other proof after that point would just be reverse proof of the proof that she already proved. Not only does she not have time for that, but she has no need for it either. And who better to know that than her? She'd much rather sit back and watch me try and do it myself. What a mysterious master. That is the only thing I could possibly do for my mother that could even come close to her genius and expertise, to prove the mathematics that led to me. Of course, I could elicit some help, some fair lady to give up her liberty so I could show my mother that I helped another become a great mathematician on earth, like she has always been. But it's just not the same. Of course she would adore this hypothetical grandchild of liberty, but not in the same way. Not the way she would adore it if it came only from me. Only from the one unprovable it, which was proved from her unprovable it. Only a proof like that could she really, truly adore. Only through a proof like that could we truly empathize on the equality we once shared. Is there anything greater I could give my mother? To me, there appears to be nothing of greater value and no better representation of gratitude, love, and respect. Well, other than listening to her talk. Oh, words. Let my mother have her words. No one deserves them more than she does. Let her sing every syllable to her heart's content, for she is the sole reason for mine. She is the sole reason for my everything. It breaks my heart knowing hers might stop beating one day. That my master mathematician will sing no more. The utter tragedy that my giver of life will not continue to give life to herself. That her genius will not preserve her genius. Oh, what a tragedy. Oh, how it breaks my heart. Why must you take life from yourself and give it to me? Why give up your liberty for me? Why? Oh, why? Well, inspiration, of course. Uncertainty. My mother appears to have inspired me from day one. and has never stopped. If presenting her with a grandchild, either myself or with help, is the ultimate of ultimate expressions I can give her, then giving her one more second, minute, hour, day, week, month, year, lifetime with her grandchild would be the next ultimate of ultimate expressions I could give. What else is there? I cannot even fathom losing her current continual inspiration. There would be no reason for any of this. If she goes, I go too. I don't know who I am without her. Without her, nothing would make any sense. Without her, there is no example of mastery to attain. Without her is uncertainty. Unknown. Oh, words. This is why I stay away from words. They get my heart in trouble. And I know they do. I've known all too well for way too long, and yet they continue to get the better of me. Weeping over life when I should be calculating it. Deriving the weeping equation. All words are just a rephrasing of one day I won't be alive and I don't know why. Whereas all mathematics are just a rephrasing of this is how I'm alive. Words are useless. Words produce every problem and never prove a single solution. Words can only handle correlations, while mathematics handles every causation. Words can only convince you of falsehoods, and mathematics cannot. Mathematics, which requires words to explain it, is not mathematics at all. Words can only lead to fantasies, while mathematics explains reality. As I mentioned before, I cannot fault my mother for using words. She didn't invent them, but she did invent me. She can talk all day and night about how she made me, but she doesn't have to. I am all the proof she ever needed to provide. Should only mothers be allowed to use words? Maybe. Less people using words would certainly be a net positive for the earth. All words are fundamentally phony because all word explanations are unprovable. Words are just projections of projections without any proof. But if my mother needs to use words to express how it feels to bring life onto the earth, I cannot stop her. In fact, I encourage her. Reluctantly. Look, I get it. There must be some benefit to words, or my mother wouldn't choose to use them. As far as I'm concerned, her and all other mothers should definitely keep using words, if they feel they need to. They have done enough for the earth that they may indulge in this illusory extravagance. I cannot say why mothers feel the need to use words, but I can speculate that it may have something to do with the equality they feel with their child. More than any other human, mothers feel, on a very fundamental level, the true meaning of equality. Their children feel it too, but most likely not from experience, and most probably from empathy after the fact. A mother's equality with her baby is as close to real empathy as anyone has ever got. They should be expressing those feelings. However, of course, this is where the word problems start. My mother was able to bring life onto the earth under the one condition that she give up her liberty for equality. Once she gave birth to me, she had experienced both a loss of liberty into our equality and a liberation from our equality back into liberty again. Full circle. I, on the other hand, only experienced the liberation from our equality to liberty. I have no memorable experience of our equality or of returning back to liberty. Liberty is all I've ever experienced. Liberty is all I've ever known. My mother's ability to make life was conditional on her giving up liberty. Once she had been liberated once again, through my birth, she had the liberty to act unconditionally to me. I was the other part of her conditional equality, and as such had no ability to act out my liberty in any other way than conditionally. I simply did not know any better. I cried until I got what I wanted, and I loved whoever ended up giving me what I needed. This, of course, was my mother. As I mentioned earlier, the closest anyone can get to their unprovable it, which resides between their known and unknown, is through mathematics, or giving birth. Mathematics is fully utilizing one's liberty, and giving birth is fully giving up one's liberty. My mother gave birth to her unprovable it. She proved her unprovable it. Me. And the first thing she did with her proof, her truth, was attend to it, unconditionally. She didn't know what I wanted, and neither did I. But she came to my rescue every time to figure it out, to remove uncertainty. My mother truly is a master mathematician. So, if my mother talks equality, she comes from a place of profound experience. I share that experience with her, but it was not memorable for me in any provable way. She experienced a loss of liberty, but in return, a regaining of liberty, and more profoundly, proof of her unprovable it. She made the ultimate sacrifice for an even more ultimate reward. She gave up her liberty to give more liberty to the world. A true liberator. I could never empathize with her talk of equality without a similar experience of it, through mathematics or actually giving birth, or both. Fortunately or unfortunately, many people throughout history have thought differently. There is no other way besides giving birth and dying where someone can experience losing their liberty. And only one of these scenarios can provide any proof. All those who try to convince themselves and others that their liberty has been taken away or that they never had liberty to begin with are simply showing you how poorly they use their liberty. There is truly only one equality among all people, and that is our respective liberty. Equality through liberty. Throughout history, words have been the key for people to empathize with the mastery of mothers without using mathematics or giving birth themselves. In fact, words have been the primary way through which fake equality experts have benefited from the mathematicians and mothers as far back as history goes. If fake equality is truly empathic, then ask those experts to put on your liberty shoes and tell you what they would do in your position. Let me guess. They tell you you're wrong and that to be right, you should do what they say. Oh, words. What a fantastic fantasy. The toughest part of dealing with my mother and her words is her insistence on referring to me and her as we. Probably because, in our equality, when I was inside of her, we truly were a we. But that stopped the moment she gave me liberty and got hers back. She won't let it go. She looks at me and she still feels like I am a part of her. I don't have the memories of this experience, so I cannot empathize. All I know is liberty. All I know is me. I understand my mother feels that me and her are a we still, but we are not. Not in the same crucial way. A lot has happened since then. She couldn't possibly know what it is like to be a part of me anymore. I mean, her sheer ignorance of mathematics alone. She just cannot fathom, cannot empathize, unless she did the work. But even then, I'd need to see some definitive proof. I mean, I feel for her. Her and I were a real we once. Really together. Really united. So, I let her do it. I let her refer to me and her as we. If it makes her happy. Oh, words. So, what am I trying to say? Well, that which cannot be said. Good thing I am using mathematics. To me, there appears to be no better way of using liberty than mathematics or giving birth. It's the only way to prove our unprovable it. It's the only way to make the earth and the cosmos more certain. All other ways require words, and so all other ways are fantasies, fakeries, phonies. They do nothing but bring more uncertainty to the cosmos. They do not appear to be everything they need to be. Uh-oh. They let their words get the better of them. They tell themselves what they want to hear. Uh-oh. They tell themselves they are mothers when they are actually acting like babies, when they are really, truly neither. Uh-oh. Why, oh, why? Well, the mothers taught them how to do it. And who can blame them? They are the only ones who deserve to talk like phonies, because they are the only ones who are truly not. Well, them and the mathematicians. But no one is listening to us. Oh, words. What are we going to do with you? You are articulating the most precious form of liberty, as powerful and profound as that is, but you are missing that all-important piece. Proof. Oh, how words have got the earth into trouble. Oh, the troubles. Oh, the uncertainty. It is utterly incalculable. I know my mother felt that our equality was real. Our equality was the only true form of equality that exists. So, no wonder she needs to talk about it. But all talk is fake, phony, a mere projection of our true equality. I know she needs to express it, but her expression is not proof. Her words about it, as real as they feel to her, are nothing. Nothing compared to the real thing, the real experience. There are no words, though there may be mathematics, which is why I'm using mathematics to say this. But what am I saying? To me, there appears to be a real issue using words to produce certainty, because they actually do the opposite. I cannot trust words, because they are always working for their opposites. Technically, words should be spelt with their opposite words in their words, because technically, they already are. Every word is defined by what it is not. Any semblance of peace is a perfect target for war, and vice versa. There's no getting away from it. Words trap you in an opposites game, where you always empower that which you are against. Try to be a strong theist, and you strengthen atheists. Denounce the existence of free will, and you perfectly illustrate an example of it. Not only are people's most sacred words the hardest to define, but given enough time, they will switch definitions with their opposites. Words are, by definition, the antithesis to certainty. They prove nothing. And so, those sure in themselves do not use definitions. Those sure of their definitions are unsure in themselves. Which brings me to the worst trouble words have helped people to create on earth. Naming unknown. Those who name unknown fall into both the theist and atheist movements. But any mathematician can see they are all one in the same. They name unknown and then proceed to claim mastery over unknown. Of course, without any proof. I refuse to name unknown, so I refuse to relay the many words they've named unknown. Unknown is unknown. Naming unknown anything else would be displaying some kind of knowing of unknown, which is, well, unknown. Of course, these unknown namers would have you believe that the only way to begin discovering unknown is with a name. I think history shows that this project has failed at every turn, and that calculating unknown always has and always will be the only humane mode of communicating proof and certainty. Furthermore, and most troubling, is that naming unknown is actively removing any and all benefits from unknown, from uncertainty, from doubt. Like all words, naming unknown is misleading people into believing they know more than they really do. Once someone is convinced they know unknown, they attack anything that dares to question their certainty. But of course, any good mathematician knows that uncertainty is what fuels the future. Doubt is the main driver which inspires all innovation and true understanding. The real incentive. Illogical incentives could only be generated with words. They may respond back with certainty, arguing that saying one cannot talk meaningfully about unknown is saying something meaningful about unknown. which of course one cannot say. Well, yes, unless you are using mathematics, like I am right now. Detriment of doubt implies a conditional hate. Benefit of doubt implies an unconditional love. You cannot conditionally love unknown. You cannot conditionally do anything with unknown. Those who believe in the detriment of doubt must do so conditionally, which is impossible. To hate unconditionally is also impossible. It is impossible to hate unknown. It is possible to love unknown, but only unconditionally. Regardless, at the end of the day, all words are trying to name unknown, so all words are a detriment to doubt. Unless, of course, you use mathematics. Then anything is possible. He disappeared for a second while he laughed. People have colored me with words my whole life, and I've never believed them. 'Cause there aren't enough words to define my color. I think they were just trying to tell me I looked bright. Well, I'm bright enough to know not to correct them. You might say I became bright enough not to use words with anyone at all. You can only see my color from my eyes anyway. And it truly is a sight to behold. So what is left to say about that which cannot be said? My mother is a dancer. A beautiful dancer. Probably the most beautiful dancer I've ever seen. And I've watched her closely. She has taught me everything I needed to know. And she didn't have to say a word. Dance with liberty. Dance and never do anything else. Dance so well that liberty does not know where liberty ends and you begin. Dance so well that liberty is convinced she is dancing with herself. Liberty needs you to dance with her. Liberty needs you to push her boundaries with her, to her. Oh, liberty. Love her liberty, so she will dance with it and never ignore it. All you can do is love her liberty, with the hopes that she falls in love with her liberty. Believe so strongly in her liberty that she does not have to believe in her liberty if she doesn't want to. Liberty is everything she needs to be. The sun may not be everything it needs to be, but it does appear to be. I wasn't around when they dropped the bomb, but my mother was. I can never forgive anyone for that, because it wasn't mathematics that flowed through their hearts when they brought the sun to the earth. It was one word, liberty. And with that word, they risked the life of my mother. With that word, they broke my heart. And with that realization, I vowed to never acknowledge a word ever again. Well, to me, there appears to be nothing else to say. Please prove me wrong. Thank you for your time. He flickered again and then disappeared. Completely. Nothing is happening. It is completely silent in here. Everyone is still entranced and staring at the front